Sorry, didn't realize it was on. So welcome to another episode of Just Sparrow, and I'm here in the Just a Lab. Welcome back. So today is Friday, which means Fix It Fridays. So after a long poll on Instagram, I decided on Fix It Fridays. So it is what it says. So every Friday from now on, I'm going to be trying to do upload of something that I'm fixing. It may not be every Friday, but I'm going to try to keep it to only Fridays. And like any tech person out there knows that whenever something broken in their family or their friends have something broken, they always ask them to fix it. So that's kind of the predicament I'm in. I have a backlog of things that my friends and family send me to fix, and I've just been really busy, and I kept pushing these things back. So I kind of want to use these Fridays now to kind of go through the process of trying to investigate what's wrong with the item and make a video at the same time. And that way, they win, I win, you the viewers win. So I really hope you enjoy these videos. I have a number of things to fix, including a hoverboard, some speakers and stuff, remote control car, or whatever Apex locator is, and a monitor. So with that being said, today's video I am fixing 2003. No, I have more things to fix. This is a 2003 RadioShack Hummer. It's 4x4. It's a 1/10 scale, if I remember correctly. And yeah, if you don't know what RadioShack is, you're too young for me. One of my friends had this, and when I went to visit him, I saw it, and I was like, hey, what's wrong with it? He said he's not sure. It just doesn't drive anymore. So this video, I'm going to try to open it up, figure out what's wrong with it. Hopefully I can fix it. This thing is from 2003. This thing is legally an adult, by the way, people. Right? So hopefully it isn't too complicated. I suspect is the I don't know. Actually, I don't know. So let's try to figure that out. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna bring the camera across, and we're gonna see what's wrong with it. So let's go. Now you can see that this thing is absolutely massive. Like it's about 20 inches long, and it stands about 1 foot off the ground, which to me is pretty damn cool. Especially something that was made in 2003. It isn't no Traxxas or Red Cat, but I found RadioShack really used to make some good RCs back in the day. I still have a Toyota Tundra, which I think is a 2012. I'm not sure. I'm actually going to do a video on that another time, which is how I modified RadioShack RC to a hobby grade RC. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just power it up and just check to see if what we're dealing with here, and then we can move on to trying to open it up and see what's exactly wrong with the inside. So I actually I have these like lithium ion batteries that I built to use this kind of connector. So I'm gonna put that in there. I didn't mean to do that. Right, so
A few moments later.
Right, so there we go. Now it's always important with lithium ion batteries to have a LiPo checker added. So I'm gonna just add a LiPo checker here. There. I'm gonna keep it off the ground because in case it actually does work and he was lying to me, I'm gonna just make sure that's there. So put it on. Alright, so the steering works, but I'm not getting anything on the throttle. I'm hearing a relay on the inside that's tripping. So, alright, so for sure he was correct. So it's not going anywhere, but the good thing is it's turning, which means this is more or less working. Probably put this thing down because it's so close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over, take it apart. Alright, so let's turn this thing over. Oh, it's important to put a magnet on the screwdriver. Yeah, so as you can see, those are the lights. Could probably, unplug those. Oh, there's also brake lights. Okay, brake lights also. I'll probably fix this. This is the headlights. You can see the wire there detached, so I could just solder that back on later. Alright, so what I want to test here is I want to test to see if I'm getting voltage from these two wires here that goes to the motor. The idea here is this could either be a controller problem, so the problem is actually this button here, but I'm hearing a clicking sound every time I push it, so it's doing something, which means a signal is being sent from this remote to this board. It can be an electronics problem, or it can be a motor problem. Now I could rule out electronics problem by just checking to see if there is a reverse voltage across, or a voltage that's going to be appearing across the motor connectors. So it's, when I press forward, it's 7.95. When I put it in reverse, it's minus 7.88, which is kind of what's supposed to happen. Let me check now if it's proportional. Oh, it is proportional. So, right, depending on how far I move my arm, the voltage gets more and more. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so this tells me that the problem is actually the motor. So I think that maybe the brushes in it has gone bad or something. So let's scrap it and take apart our motor and test it. For a very cheap toy, this thing is really insane to get access to this motor. Essentially, like I have to take like this whole area off, and it's like split into here. So there's like a bunch of screws going straight across. So there's a lot of bolts and nuts to take out here. So I'm gonna just do that really quickly. So probably gonna speed this up in a time lapse. So time lapse starting. So everyone, this is the inside of it, and I suspect this motor here is not good. So what I would do now is I'm gonna pop it out if I could. Right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use my power supply. Alright, so right now I'm powering this from my benchtop power supply. And you can see here I'm putting 12 volts across the motor. Yeah, so 12 volts across the motor. And nothing's happening. It's not spinning or anything. So I believe this motor here is dead. It could be the brushes. It's irrelevant. Right? So what I'm going to do now, take my solder iron, and I'm going to just desolder it and see if I can find a motor similar to this. So now the question is, do I have a motor that is similar to this? This is my motors and servos container. It's 550. And this is a RS550. Might be very difficult to see. So it says RS50PC. And I have this motor here that seems similar. Yeah, it works. Now I don't know which way is positive and negative, which way is forward and reverse. So that's something I'm going to have to test, as well as figure out how to get this out of here. So. Now I have this, which is a gear puller. But the problem is there's no hole on top of here for it to pull from. Two more piece. So now I'm going to power up this driver and use the power from this to determine what is the correct direction this motor needs to spin. So according to this, in order to go forward, the motor needs to spin anti-clockwise here. So if I lock the differential, spinning upwards would achieve that. So I will put the motor back in. Well, there's a new motor. I'm not going to solder it just yet. Right, so That's in there. So that's that in. That's in. That's in there. Now the wires are barely connected. So what I'm going to do now is power on the controller here.
Surprise, mother.
Oh crap. Well, it's working, and I think it's already in the correct direction. As you can see, my desk gets really messy every time I do a project, so it's like total pandemonium here, chaos, right? So, so now it's just to solder back up the motor, and we're done. That's the project right here. That, I mean, it's a simple fix, but as you can see, it's a lot of work. So I hope whoever gets to use this appreciates it. All right, so the car is done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just see if it make sure it works in the lab. So yeah, that beeping song is actually the LiPo checker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out the charge, and I'll make a next little video tomorrow with it running out in the yard. So I hope everyone liked and enjoyed the video. As you can see, the Hummer is back to life, and this is a 2003 4x4 from RadioShack. This thing is 18 years old, so it's really nice to bring these things back to life. My dad said he will be using it, and so will my niece. So it's nice that it's going to bring them joy and stuff, as well as just like how remote control cars have bring me joy when I was smaller. So everyone, that wraps up Fix It Fridays. I hope you liked and enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, questions, anything for me, let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button and do consider subscribing. I'm going to try to make this thing really weekly, but no promises. And as you can see, the Hummer is working really well. It looks pretty damn good. I'm actually amazed how strong it is and how well built it is. Again, so I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. And as always, this is just Baron, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned.